We've hit level 18 in one session in the world, 19 in the other. We've been playing for almost 4 years. Today, 15 minutes past our scheduled play time, the DM sent. I'm officially letting you all know that I am ending both games. I got to level 10 as a monk. I gained immunity to poison damage. The DM stopped using poison damage altogether. Our group bought the new Witchlight module. We are 5 players and relative experience together. Me, 24M, and my friend, 21F, wanted to combine our backstories. We both wanted to play the new fairy race and know each other. First, our GM was skeptical about it, because it was weird for him to have male fairy. After I told him that my character soul be joyful, friendly, and sometimes naive, he completely lost it and told me that my idea is stupid and he does not want to have a man-child in his campaign. He allowed my friend to play a fairy though. All the other players, except for my friend, also find it weird that a guy wants to play a fairy, so I decided to play a halfling instead to avoid further conflicts. I simply wanted to play an innocent character and thought a fairy would fit perfectly for that, especially in the Witchlight setting, but apparently it is wrong for a guy to play one. I'm running 5e with some Witcher supplements. The party is full of Witchers, but on player wants to be a tabaxi. I tell her there are no tabaxi in the Witcher universe. She tries to convince me to just write it, and so I ask if she's willing to be a Witcher who responded to the mutation and aesthetically became a tabaxi. She tells me that the racial history is important. I tell her I'm not finna add a whole new race to the game. She asks if I even want her to play. I tell her of course. She then says she won't play a boring race. I tell her you'll be fine. She leaves and tells my husband it seeks like I didn't want her there in the first place. Short story. I kicked off my hobby of playing TTRPG by joining a campaign of 4e in my local area. I was having a blast, the party was fun to be around, the DM was nice, there was a session every week. Until one day at 1 AM I realized something, wait a second, this game sucks. Suddenly I realized that almost all of the time spent in session was devoted to combat, and not the good kind slow boring grinds of damage sponges that played always the same. Sessions would last about 4 hours and more often than not began with the combat started the session prior, had about 20 minutes of role play in the middle and ended with beginning a new combat encounter. After the revelation I thanked everyone and left the group looking for another system to play. I once had a DM challenge me to an IRL fight because I argued that, historical accuracy aside, there was no way I was allowing my DM to shoehorn sexual assault into my Viking character's backstory. Things escalated quickly to the point he asked me to step outside to settle things like men. I was well up for it till I realized he meant he wanted to engage me in a duel with LARP weapons using our stats from the LARP we both jointly attended. About 20 seconds into the fight he started complaining I wasn't pulling my blows and cried uncle shortly thereafter. Needless to say, I wasn't invited back to that table and I can't say I give a damn. There's a player who cries a lot. He cried when an NPC died. He cried when 2 PCs were having an argument and he tried breaking it up. What's going on with him, but dude has cried for the last 3 sessions. 2 players on 2 separate occasions has came to me saying it was weird and they're not really sure how to react to something like that. I've asked him to kinda give the acting a bit of a rest, but TBH I'm not entirely sure he's acting. The table while RP intensive isn't that RP intensive and he needs a minute for composure. We play at our friend's house and it's a bit embarrassing when he just cries while we're playing. TBH I have no clue what's happening, but this can't be an everyday thing. I recently parted ways with player over some OOC drama. The campaign has been going smoothly. Until another player in my campaign tells me she asked her, and others, to join her campaign on the same day. We're all friends and the biggest issue is it feels like an attempt to exclude us. I am running my first ever D&D campaign as a DM and one of my PCs has ruined entire sessions by attempting to have sex with every enemy they come in contact with. This includes trying to seduce NPCs and bosses while also trying to have sex with enemies after killing them. They also have derailed countless RP encounters by just yelling about what they want to do. Please help. I play as an astral self monk and I reached level 6 recently. I unlock Stunning Strike and almost all of the bosses we fight are immune to stuns, and he counts my ki as magic to the extent that at an anti-magic area my attacks don't count as magic. We have a Path of Beast Barbarian in the party who can still use their claws and tails, but I can't summon my arms or use any monk abilities. I have seen how there are other ways to counter stunning strikes, such as giving enemies a high con or higher AC.